Our dancing at the present time is less competitive at this point, but we love to incite newcomers. I love to get a newcomer who's just stepped into the studio at one of the studio parties, and you get to look, did we do that? Oh, that comes right back to home. So many of the newcomer students are a little bit reluctant to put on an exhibition. One of the things that I do tell them is, you always look better than you think you do. You feel every quiver of the ankle, of the knee, or something that twitched instead of flowing smoothly. They didn't see that. You're aware of that. You look better than you think you do, and I think this encourages them more and more to put on these exhibitions. Some of the observations that some of the newcoming students make to me is say, boy, it's hard to learn these steps. And they see people putting on silver and gold level steps, and they think it's impossible. And what I tell the newcomer students is, you're not just learning steps, you're learning to learn steps. And you're going to find out that as time goes along, the more difficult steps are no more difficult to learn than these first ones that you're picking up as a newcomer. Now, I tried the patience of all my teachers. I'm left-handed, I'm dyslexic, and when somebody says the other left foot, God only knows what's going to happen. One other thing that I recommend is, if the people are interested in going to some of the Sunday dances at some of the venues around here, every hour they have a 10 to 15 minute mixer, waltz or foxtrot. And if you have students that are going to be interested in doing that, I strongly recommend a small amalgamation of silver in the waltz and foxtrot, so you can travel the way that you have to if you're going to survive on that floor and participate on it. Because they've got some wonderful floors, about 70 feet long, and you even get a nice conversation all the way down and back. Now, you're called upon as instructors, administrators in Fred Astaire to apply the very best of you. Now, I didn't have that in the dance area. I wasn't a professional dancer. But when I got out of the service, I was in the aerospace game. And that was back in the Sputnik. We had to play catch up to the Russians. We wanted to become the first on the moon. And I was with a company that did the steering of the guidance systems. We too were putting in 18-hour days. And if you weren't obsessed with the fact that this was a great thing to do, you kind of fell by the wayside. You're being called upon to apply yourself with that level of dedication. And fortunately, you have an extraordinary organization. And I'm going to speak a little of authority here. I have worked with a number of companies. Some were truly outstanding, some eh. And one of them started good, but I even had the chance to help become outstanding. You've got an outstanding organization here. You've got people who care for you at the very top. They're looking out to see that you get the very best out of you. And you advance as much as you possibly can. Sometimes it may feel like a kick in the pants, but for those of us that only jump so high, sometimes that makes the difference. So this is kind of my swan song for the day. You've got leaders who care about you. They're looking out for you. They're trying to encourage you to have the very best life that you possibly can. And I say this especially for people who this may be their first job. So you don't have a lot of things to compare it to, but you're in a good place. And so, mwah!